Hello students, welcome to the second session on database management system. The contents are data models, schema and instances, 3-schema architecture and data independence. Data models. Data model is a collection of concepts to describe the structure of database. For example, before you build a building, you create a blueprint. This blueprint describes the structure of the building. Same way, before you create a database, you create a data model that describes the structure of database. The three categories of data models are high level or conceptual data model, representational or implementation data model, and physical data models. Conceptual data model. So this data model provides concepts that are close to the way many users perceive data. So this model uses concepts like entity relation and attribute to describe the structure of data model. You can see over here, in the diagram where we have two relations, that is student and the college, and the relation between the student and college is student studying in college. And we also have attributes of student, that is student ID, student name and student address, and the attributes of the college are college ID and college name. So this is called as ER model, entity relationship model. Just by looking at this model, a common man who doesn't have any technical knowledge can understand the structure of a database. The next model is physical or low-level data model. This model describes how data is stored in the computer. It represents the information such as record formats, record orderings, and the access path. So for example, this is a representation of physical data storage. The storage format, we have the frame rate, we have chapter, we have access path. So all these are representation of a physical data model. A common man may not understand the physical data model. The next one is representational or implementation data model. So this model specifies the overall logical structure of database and also provides higher level description of database. This is a simple example, student relation. So here we have the columns are called as attributes, that is roll number, name and department, and all the rows are called as tuples. Okay. So usually the representation or implementation data model is represented in the form of record based structures. So this is the example of a student relation in a relation model. The next concept is database schema. The term schema will be used frequently in a database management system. So overall database schema is nothing but the logical representation of a database. So you can see in a diagram here we have a 5 relation, that is student, course, prerequisites, section, grade report. And we have for a student relation we have attributes like name, we have student number, we have a class, and we have a major. So this is an example of a database schema. The next is database state. The data in the database at a particular moment in time is called a database state or snapshot. So this is an example of a database state. So here we have a 3 relation, that is student, course and section with data. It is called as a database state, or also it is called as a snapshot, or also it is called as an instance. The next topic is 3-schema architecture. So this 3-schema architecture was created in 1970s. The main goal of the 3-schema architecture is to separate the user application from the physical database. For example, let us consider a user using a Gmail application. The user may access the Gmail the data at any time and any time and any place he can access all the data. So, but being a user, he may not know where the data is physically stored. The data might be the Google data might be in Delhi or Bombay, or it might be in USA as well. So being a user, he is not aware where the data is stored physically. So this is called as data independence. So this is called as a separation between the user application from the physical database. So the three schema architecture can be divided into three levels, that is the internal level, the conceptual level, and the external level. As you can see in the diagram here, the bottom level is called as internal level, and the middle one is called as a conceptual level, and the top one is called as a. Let's understand about external level. External schema describes the part of database and hides the rest of the database from that of the user group. If I consider a simple example of academic management system where the faculties and the students will be using the same database, but the view will be different. The view for the student will be, the student can just view the attendance and the marks, whereas the faculty will have much more privileges where he can add the attendance, we can add the marks, at the same time he can view his salary, and also he can view his number of leaves available. So this is a different subset of data given to the faculties, and different subset of data is given to the students. So this is an external level. The next is conceptual level, which describes the structure of the whole database for a community of a user. So the conceptual schema concentrate on describing the entities, the data types, relationships, user operations, and constraints. Usually the conceptual schema, it is a responsibility of a database designer to design those ER relational model. The next is internal schema. The internal level has an internal schema which describes the physical storage structure of the database. So the internal schema describes the complete details of data storage and access path for the database. So it might be, it's a responsibility of a database administrator. He is the one who specifies a size or location, all is responsible to manage the database. Next is data independence. Data independence is defined as a property of DBMS that allows you to change the database schema at one level of a database system without requiring to change the schema at the next higher level. Take a simple example. Whenever the user accesses his Facebook account, all his Facebook data is available 24/7 at any place and at any time. But the user doesn't have any knowledge about where exactly the data is stored. So this is called as data independence. There are two types of data independence, that are, the one is logical data independence, other one is a physical data independence. Let's see what is a logical data independence. So it is a capacity to change the conceptual schema without having to change the external schema. So that is called as logical data independence. When I say changing conceptual schema, it might be adding a new record or removing a record without affecting the external view. So let me take a simple example. Let's say we have two views here, that is student view and a teacher view. Let's see what is available in the conceptual schema. So in the conceptual schema, we have a student name, we have a student attendance, we have a teacher name and teacher ID. Let's see what view has given to the student. The view given to the student is student name and student attendance. And let's see what view given to the teacher. Yes, the teacher name, teacher ID. Now, suppose if I want to add one more field to the conceptual schema. Let's say I want to add teacher salary. Yes, now I just added teacher salary. So even if I add teacher salary, it will not affect the student schema. It will just affect the teacher schema just by adding one field, but it will not affect the student schema. So this is called as logical data independence. Just you can see here only the teacher view is modified, the student view is not modified. The next is physical data independence. Physical data independence is a capacity to change the internal schema without having to change the conceptual schema. So that is called as physical data independence. So for example, what changes? Changes to the internal schema might be change of location of database from say C drive to D drive, or it might be any modifying the indexes or modifying the data structures, etc. So even though any modification done into the internal schema, that will not be reflected to the conceptual schema. So this is about physical data independence. Yeah, thank you.